Welcome back to the Jimvitational 2, everybody. My name is Wild Rumpus, and I've got some round 4 matches here, or match singular. It's going to be Marcop versus Jabba. Neither of these players are aliased as what they're commonly known as, so it's going to be Jabba here on the left, Trainer Orange, and Gilbert Arenas is going to be Marcop. But anyway, this is loser's bracket side of things, so whoever loses this is out of the tournament. High stakes. Let's get into game 1. Zapdos versus Flygon. Both of those Pokemon could outspeed one another and threaten each other. It's actually going to be a Jirachi enter on the Swampert switch. Jirachi getting a Toxic off onto Zapdos, which clicks T-Wave into Blissey. Alright. Cloyster now. Usually, actually is, yeah, Cloyster's, I guess, more of a lead. But anyway, it's a aggressive spiker. It can spike, it can spin, and it can boom. And it usually does some spikes, and then maybe a spin once, and then booms a lot of the time. Okay, Jirachi appears to be defensive with the Wish, with the Fire Punch, with the Toxic. Zap gonna enter. And Zapdos would love to get a T-Wave on this Jirachi. Sand is going to start, though. That's definitely going to benefit the team with spikes here from Jabba. And that was a nice switch onto the Blissey receiving the Wish. And a double out into Gengar on the Skarm. Okay. Clicks Fire Punch here on the Thief. Oh, man. So Skarmory eating those, stealing those leftovers from Gengar, which is now on a timer to its own Sand. Finds the burn, though. That is pretty huge, because once Skarm goes down, then Cloyster can get that one spin that it often is looking for. Again, not a very sustainable spinner. This is kind of the exact game where having that Cloyster can be quite nice against that burn Skarmory that is already low. And maybe just getting sacked right now? Nope, will be Starmie switching in. Okay, but with, Marcop's own spinner against a spin blocker that is on a timer of Gengar, especially since it is a defensive Starmie as well with Recover, means that long term we might see no spikes. Obviously the game isn't guaranteed to go that way. Gengar does enter now on the defensive Starmie, maybe expecting to outspeed as well. Brings out the T-Tar, which, being brought into Gengar like that, maybe indicates some pursuit action. Clicks Crunch, does 47 to Metagross, which does outspeed, doesn't even find the KO, and just goes down. Wow. Okay, Gengar is in now. Threatens to KO the T-Tar. Clicks the Hidden Power Grass. Skarmory is living for the time being, and with the Protect as well. Protect, I don't think actually matters here, unless Skarmory... Yeah, no, Skarmory does die to the burn anyway. Still, just for the flavor. Starmie's in now as Cloyster enters on the Surf. Gonna get sacked off, so that one spike will be permanent for Marcop. Okay, Zapdos enters, and, I mean, this is looking good for Marcop so far. Nice double there. Blissey's kind of low, but Blissey does outspeed, so okay, Focus Punch, great move to have here. And a great move to click, 80% there. Okay, this is now looking a little more even. Oh, was that a speed tie? Interesting. Oh wait, no, I'm confused. I read that Blissey took the Sandstorm and then Swampert took the leftovers. I mistook that as Blissey taking the leftovers and then Swampert. So Swampert did in fact outspeed. Nice crit Earthquake there on a Starmie. You kind of need multiple crits, not back to back, but definitely not too spaced apart, in order to take out this Starmie as pert. Zapdos is a threat right now. You have the ground in Flygon, which can switch in, doesn't worry about these spikes either, but I mean, Zapdos can have ice coverage, especially if it's a lead Zapdos. You can have ice coverage for what is a somewhat common lead of Salamence. Does go Flygon, and we see double out into Pert. Okay. Now, if you predict... Okay, it's going to be a spike. Not a spike sack, technically, but sacking off Tar to bring back in Starmie. And now things are kind of looking better for Jabba all of a sudden, and finding the perfect turn to get that Gengar in on the spin as well. So Starmie is not full at the moment. Clicks Surf on Zap. Okay, this is going playing really well around this Starmie, I must say, from Jabba. Because now if the Starmie re-enters on a predicted Earthquake click from Swampert, then it might just, I think it will just die to the spikes plus the Earthquake. And the Para on Jirachi into full Para is going to be quite nice. Again, defensive Jirachi, a lovely Pokemon to get a Para on, because it's kind of reliant on those 2 turns to heal rather than just the 1, so there's more potential for the Para hacks, which we might see come into play here. I mean, if it full Paras on... Nope, doesn't even attempt it. Okay, so that is now a Spike Sack. As Flygon enters on the DD Tar, clicks Earthquake on the Gengar. This is now looking kind of over. Starmie with Surf, I mean, Tar is going to live... maybe after the next round of Spikes, Starmie has a chance, but... Okay, doubling out here. This Flygon very clearly seems to... Oh yeah, I'm just predicting that with the HP bug. That is going to be the game. Because Flygon very much indicating... Oh, no, actually clicks a super effective hidden power there. Presumably bug, so it didn't literally get walled by Gengar, but didn't have a good move to click into it, such as Rock Slide, for example. Really well played game here. Looked very back and forth. And Jabba is going to be the one to take it when all is said and done, and somehow able to milk out so much value from a Gengar that got thieved. Obviously the burn on Skarmory early on with the Fire Punch ended up being quite nice, limiting Marcop to the 1 spike, but Jabba definitely had to play quite well to win this game. But anyway, game 2 now. Marcop on the back foot, potential to get knocked out here. It's going to be Skarm on Swampert lead. Fori comes in on the T-Tar switch, clicks Spike. Usually the Fortress clicking Spike first instead of Spin, just in case of a Spin blocker. You want to get some value out of the turn. But T-Tar is now roaring. And continuing to roar. Okay, Fori can... Well, you have to fear Fire Blast, because T-Tar hasn't revealed... Yeah, it's Flamethrower. Hasn't revealed an attacking move yet, so... Definitely rewarded with that cautious switch out from Marcop. Didn't go for the greedy spin. And we see Milo. Okay, Swampert has revealed Surf, so if it is a Mono Pert with just Surf Toxic, this Milo is going to eat that for breakfast. I mean, even if it is Earthquake, Swampert has a tough time breaking Melodic. Okay, and Mag is going to find the trap. Oh, but no HP Fire. And Fori, I think, either not having Earthquake or just preferring to get the 3rd spike down, does get the 3rd spike down. And, yeah. Oh, Magneton outspeeding Moltres here. Wow, that has got to be an extremely slow Moltres. Crazy. Gonna find a lot of chip there. T-Tar in now. Yeah, it is a defensive rest Moltres here. And you have to wonder, I mean, is there a spinner for Jabba? Because you don't often see a spinner paired with Magneton, which tends to be more of a get it in and limit the spike to 1. But the spike was not limited to 1. There are 3 spikes down on Jabba's side. As T-Tar is just rest looping this Moltres, it looks like. However, this time around with the initial attack, because last time, didn't it rest on the switch? I'm scrolling up in chat to check that. No, it did not rest on the switch. It did rest on the crunch. So you're really only... Well, T-Tar is still expected to win that long term just because Moltres isn't actually doing anything actively, and T-Tar has crit chances, and it has Spinef drop chances. And, man, this T-Tar is looking like a threat. Clicking Pursuit on the Gengar, taking 44%. It is a defensive Gengar. T-Tar is now on a timer, but that crit is quite nice. But, yeah, it just paired well into basically everything that Marcop had. At this point, it will go down. Gengar gonna boom to ensure the trade. And now Swampert's back in on Lax, and that's another Pokemon that kind of eats a Monopart for breakfast, if it is. And clicking Surf, yeah, does not indicate that Marcop has a good answer here. Fori and Gengar are both, I'd say, checks to Snorlax, and they're both down. And this Lax might just run away with the game. We will see what Marcop's last is. If he doesn't switch into his last right here, I'd say the game is already over. Yeah. So if his last was not a suitable answer for... actually, is it in Seismic Toss range? Okay, clicking Wish on the rest. Okay. Yeah. Well, a rest Moltres probably has Roar, so you can, at the very least, sort of kick the can down the road and delay the issue until later. But if you can just set up like Last Mon Lax potentially. I mean, there's 3 spikes, so you can do some spike shuffling. There's always that possibility. Yeah, but now Moltres can't Roar without going down because of that minus priority. Clicks Wisp just to survive another turn. And yeah, this Lax will just find another opportunity to rest, I'm sure, on the Blissey. Or the Last Mon. Okay, no, Moltres, yeah, that makes sense, being able to rest in time. I think that Marcop may be surviving for the time being, but again, it's still just looking so in favor of Jabba. So Marcop will be able to find a Roar here, at least get the Lax out of there. But I think that Jabba timed his own rest so that this Lax is ready to wake up on the re-entry. Sunny Day, I don't think that I feel like that helps Jabba more than Marcop. Yes, you're clicking harder hitting flamethrowers, but yeah, no sand means that this Lax is now going to be getting that passive leftovers recovery, and I think that Snorlax benefits from that much more than Moltres does. This Lax clicking rest again. Now, it's worth noting that Moltres is a pressure mon, so you can, and it did reveal Roar, right? Oh, it didn't. I'm stupid. I thought it had clicked Roar. It didn't have Roar that whole time. So Lax was, yeah, just free reign to set up. Clicks EQ here. Down goes Raikou. This game is over. Yet another case of me missing something really huge over the course of like 20 turns and not realizing that things are actually way more dire than they normally would be. So I was wondering, like, why isn't... You want to set up the situation which you can Roar out Lax after it rests and whatnot. Yeah, both players throwing in their GGs in chat because it is, at this point, probably a formality. Lax can get frozen as he outspeeds, so there's that out. But even then, Milo just wins. So, yeah, multiple win cons here from Jabba. And this is, without a doubt, a Lax weak team, I would say, because... You know, one of your main defensive backbones in Swampert doesn't really have a physical move to threaten Lax, which just has a naturally high SpDef. Fortress, again, is a very strong defensive wall, but not really able to trade blows that well. Yeah, not able to deal with Snorlax particularly well. And I think this Lax would have been full-walled by Gengar with the, yes, the... Return plus Earthquake means that Gengar full walls it, so that would have been an important mon to preserve, but again, with the Pursuit Tar, I don't know, the pieces here just make sense for Jabba's team. Get rid of the Lax answers of an expected Skarmory with the Magneton. In this case, it just took out Fori. And get rid of the Ghosts with T-Tar. And then from there, just hope that Lax has a favorable matchup, which in this case absolutely was the case even before. Like Mag didn't really have to do that much. And yeah, the Pert just unable to deal with Lax, unfortunately. So it will be Jabba taking the series 2-0. Unfortunately, Marcop will get knocked out here in round 4. But yeah, congratulations to both players, I suppose. Well, a special congratulations to the winner, I guess, in Jabba. Well played series here. And yeah, that's all from me. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, feel free to like the video, subscribe to the channel, do all those things. But the prize pool is still accepting donations as well for the winner of the Jimvitational 2. So if you are so inclined, feel free to just throw whatever you'd like there, even $1 here and there. Absolutely helps. But anyway, that's all from me, and we'll see you all next time.